You're listening to the Elevated News Podcast with two dope dudes. Here are your hosts, Dave and Aaron. Welcome to the Elevated News Podcast with two dope dudes. We're a podcast focused on discussing local and national cannabis news and culture. We're the two dope dudes. I'm Aaron. This is Dave.
Hello.
What's up, dude? How are you?
I'm feeling pretty fantastic.
Yeah, except for your neck.
My neck hurts.
Your neck hurts.
I slept funny on my neck.
That's crazy.
It's my right neck.
It's your right neck?
Yeah.
Have you tried stretching?
Not specifically this morning. I got into the car and then drove here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're probably not wrong.
I'm probably not.
I tried cannabis.
Cannabis is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. Well, maybe it is helping my neck a little bit.
A little bit.
Tight. It's tight, but
Yeah.
Oof.
I mean, we did just, we smoked, I forget what the specific strain was, but it was, thank you to DJ from Phenohound Genetics.
Thanks, DJ.
Please follow Phenohound Genetics and AMPM Hemp Farm. All great people, and appreciate your product, DJ. You're the man. We got nice and blasted. So here we are.
Yeah, I feel good except for my neck.
Except for your neck?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Everything from my neck up feels real good.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. You want to do plugs? Let's do plugs, get them out of the way. Obviously, if you're listening to us, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your other favorite streaming and podcast apps. You should be watching us on the Two Dope Dudes YouTube channel. Give us a like and leave a review. Leave us a comment, please. This helps us reach more people. We appreciate it. Check out supportdopepeople.com, along with links to our other pods and free stickers just by providing your email and address and signing up for the newsletter. And you can always email your questions to twodopedudespodcast@gmail.com or things you want us to talk about. And then I'll talk to Chris later, but hopefully I can change the code. Cropculture.net. Use the code 2DopeDudes for a little extra love from our friends at Crop Culture. Thanks for the new shirt. Appreciate you,
Pretty
Chris.
dope.
Yeah.
It's real dope.
Chris is awesome.
Yeah. Also, if you don't mind, feel free to check me out. I stream live Thursday evenings from 8 p.m. until we go to bed at Peace, Love, and Cope on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate y'all for checking me out. I just want to help you take your health back in your own hands with cannabis. It is the world's greatest plant, and it is complex.
It is.
Yeah, but
It's worth it.
I know it well, so ask questions, please. Thank you.
That's awesome. Let's get into the show.
Let's do it.
We got a show today.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there's some good stuff.
I mean, there is some fun stuff to talk about today. Do you want to start off with the dope person of the week
Love
this
him.
week? Yeah,
Love the guy.
Mr. CBD. What a guy. I don't know. I can't say enough about him, but he's a great dude. Let's play this. And this is the first one I did with video. Question number 1, who are you?
Mark Kinnicky.
And Mark, what is it that you do?
I'm a cannabis educator and freedom fighter. And Mr. CBD Chicago, I am the founder, and we are a hemp and CBD distribution company.
Awesome. And who in this space do you think is doing dope things right now?
I know so many dope people. One, you're one of them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'd like to give a shout out to Emerald Acres, Kif Cure, and Crafted Bites and Delights. I'd like to talk about Fizzy, bring up Herb, Everything Better Co. Benji, what's up?
What kind of things in your space are dope to you right now?
The fact that we're more diversified than we've ever been, and we can cater to anyone.
And Mark, how can we support you?
By going to our website and finding out what you need. And we have a 420 club, and $4.20 a month will get you access like if it's Costco for cannabis.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Mark's a great dude.
Mr. CBD Chicago.
MrCBDChicago.com. .com. We'll have affiliate links at some point for that, but he's redoing his website right now. But you can go there. My mom's picked up stuff from him at the farmers markets. I've sent other people to him. I've got his massage oil is really nice.
Oh, I could use that right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a big bottle though.
I would like to
It's
take
a
a
whole wine
bath
bottle
in
full.
this shit.
Yeah, and we got some stuff behind us too.
Oh, I can't even
Mr.
look.
CB wine,
Let's see if I get there.
whole bean coffee. Yeah, there's a bunch of great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
So check him out.
It took me so much to turn around and try and look at
I
the
know.
stuff back there.
It's all right.
Oh,
You don't have to.
I feel like Frankenstein.
It's terrible.
You know?
Take a hot shower and all.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Well,
dude.
and don't forget, next Tuesday, they're doing those infused massages before the next Tuesday meeting.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I'm gonna get me one of them.
Dude, I just hope I'm feeling better before next Tuesday.
Me too. You want to go into our first thing? This is
I've
I know you want to talk
been
about
waiting
this.
for this.
So our first news story today is High Times announces the Illinois 2023 Cannabis Cup winners. And this is obviously on Illinois News Joint because they're the best. And there's not a lot of, other than Ohio legalizing, there's not a lot of other great cannabis news currently. The winter time, it gets a little
Yeah. Slows it down. But this is local. I like Illinois cannabis news, especially this stuff.
Yeah.
High Times.
High Times.
Oh, the People's Choice 2023.
Yep.
Ooh.
Medical edibles. Number 1, French Toast White Chocolate Crunch Bar by Nature's Grace and Wellness.
Nature's Grace always did make some fire ass fucking edibles. They tasted great. They did actually bang. Their price point was always on point. And French Toast.
Yeah.
Give me some motherfucking French Toast.
Yeah. Number 2 was Sea Salt Caramels by Bedford Grow.
Also fire. I dig that product quite a bit. Flavor wise, amazing. And again, relatively effective. And I think lower cost too per the 100 milligrams.
Probably. Sour Apricot Apple. Cherry Pie Live Rosin Gummies by On the Rocks. On the Rocks, remember, we've talked about this. I don't know if it was on your channel or mine. Or your channel or this one. The On the Rocks is Verano's. It's all that dark extract.
Oh.
That's On the Rocks.
Oh.
Remember that stuff I was showing you? That was like their new
Yeah.
flavor carts or something. But it looked like the worst, darkest extract. That was just. It did not look. Tasty to me.
But hey, if they put sour apricot apple,
I guess.
what the hell is sour apricot apple? Is it gummies?
Yeah.
You would hope, right?
Cherry Pie Live Rosin Gummies.
Oh shit! Right at the end of.
Yeah.
There's so many words though.
I
Sour
know.
apricot apple cherry pie live rosin gummies. Who the
by On the Rocks.
You got to almost have a minor degree in hip hop and to get that all the way out of your mouth. How is a dispensary worker supposed to know? This is facts, though.
Medical vape. Number 1, Blueberry Clementine Live Rosin Cart by Revolution.
Legit, if you're gonna waste your money on Illinois cannabis and you're not buying Blueberry Clementine anything, you are failing. Blueberry Clementine is fire.
I wish there
been
was
since the beginning.
more Revolution stuff around us.
It's
It's not easy to find.
really
Yeah, and
because
yeah,
they go up to they're in
yep, because they're
wherever,
like
Schaumburg or something
Schaumburg,
like
Chicago,
that. Yeah.
all that stuff. Number 2, Inspired Vape Pen by. Do you know how to say that?
Bebo.
Bebo.
I don't even know who the fuck that is. I don't even have the slightest clue.
Before your time.
Something like that. This is what's wild to me is like I keep seeing a bunch of names in here that I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Where did they come from?
Number 3 was Coconut Cream Pie Live Resin by Verano.
Fire too.
These are for medical vapes.
They're fire.
Medical Flower. Number 1, Blueberry Clementine by Revolution.
I promise you, they win the vape and the flower department. You know that is like the one. Go get you some.
Yep.
Revolution Blueberry Clementine. Well, don't go. You're all right. Stay here. You're fine.
Black Afghan by Rhythm. And Strawberry Guava by Verano Essence.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean,
It depends on, I guess, if it's new guava or old guava.
but I wish I had the list of Verano strains versus their new to old names so that we knew exactly what that was. But I would imagine that it's like fucking, I don't know.
Well, the guava, Love Green Culture grows the new guava, so you know what the new guava taste is. It's that very flowery.
Yeah, but Verano was the one who changed all their names to
No,
all the tutti frutti shit.
yes, yes.
We know the genetics. We know the background and the lineage of it. We'll pull it up at
Yeah,
some
we can.
point, but
Yeah, we can pull it up. Do
um,
you want to pull it up right now?
we don't need to.
Okay.
I at some point I'm gonna try and figure that out because
Cool. Solventless concentrates, which is, or no, I'm sorry, these are
These-
solvent
yeah.
concentrates, not solventless. Florida oranges, live resin, sugar by Arise. Number 2 was strawberry bubbles butter by Superflux.
Yeah, that's the other one. Who the fuck is Superflux?
Probably a new craft girl. Super silver cookies, live resin by Rhythm.
Okay.
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 Non-solvent concentrates, Blue Face live rosin by Fig Farms, Sunset Sherbet rosin by Rhythm, Moon Boots cold cure batter by Revolution.
Oh, it sounds fantastic.
Yeah. Edibles, gummies, and fruit chews. Number 1 was Pink Lemonade Gummies by Goodie Bag. Number 2 is Pink Lemonade Live Resin Gummies by New Era. 3 was Sour Cherry Lime Gummies by Hetty.
I literally don't. I mean, I slightly know New Era, but I literally
Yeah.
don't know.
New
anybody
Era's,
from there.
they got a dispensary over by us. It's over by the outlet mall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like right there.
That I'll tell you what though, that fucking next one, that peanut butter Buddha bar by Incredibles.
Oh yeah, you like that?
Fire.
Churro bar by Kiva. Caramelized chocolate marshmallow graham by Mindy's.
Whoa, that's the first time we've seen Mindy's too, and she makes some of the better flavored shit. It's just so expensive.
Yeah. Beverages this year: mango margarita by Senorita, cola by CQ, and mango ginger sprints by Arette.
Artet?
Artet? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, David Artet.
Oh, okay. I think you mean David Arquette.
Well, in this
You're
instance,
Jack Reach in there.
Oh, shit. Sorry to cough in the microphone. This pisses me straight off to no end because I
Topicals,
know
tinctures, capsules, and sublinguals.
one, all of them should have their own fucking category. Maybe not capsules, mids. But tinctures are sublinguals. What other sublingual do we know about that isn't a tincture? Anyway, topicals probably should have a thing of their own. Tinctures
Yeah.
should have a thing of their own. Unless by sublinguals they're talking about also like RSO and everything too. So
Yeah.
maybe that does encompass everything. But just break these off because some of these things, it sucks to me. We got a Restore Transdermal Lotion by Dr. Solomons. I don't know this stuff, and if it's a true transdermal, that's super dope. But I was told by some scientists that making a true transdermal isn't something that you do because then it opens all 7 layers of the skin, right? And then you're actually through the dermis, and
Right.
then you're all the way in the skin. You're that's the technical definition of that. But a lot of these places are making I don't know, stuff that only penetrates like 3, 4, maybe even 5 layers of the skin. But to do any more than that is dangerous because then anything that touches you there is getting just transferred through the skin, and your
Right.
skin's not playing a barrier.
That was terrible.
That was weird.
Yeah, don't put your phone by the mic cables, even if it's a monitor. That's a terrible place for it.
Yeah, it does not like that at
No,
all.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, and then pain relief balm 1-to-1 CBD THC from Avexia. That shit is fire.
Yeah.
We both can attest. I love that shit.
That's one of the things that we get from the dispensary because that stuff is awesome.
It
it's
is-
like THC CBD Tiger Tiger Balm,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically.
And then they've got number 3, Rest 1 to 5 capsules by Remedy. Here's my issue with that. I don't know what's been submitted or not submitted or anything, but I can probably name 15 to 20 topicals, tinctures, or sublinguals that are better. And maybe even I could put a capsule or 2 on there that are better than what they have on this list. And I'm not saying that these things can't be great in their own right,
Right.
but I mean, just sweet pea oil from Shelby, it blows any of this stuff completely out of the water. And I'm not, you know, trying to hate on anything, but or any of Shelby's RSOs probably. I don't know. Anywho,
Yeah.
they should just let me judge the damn thing.
Well,
but this is the people's choices.
we'll,
Actually,
we'll, I'm sure we'll do enough judging next year, my friend.
that's fine. I'm into it.
I'm good. So vape pens and carts, Florida Orange Live Rosin Cart by Revolution. I know you talk about that stuff all the time.
Florida Orange is my favorite product ever from the Illinois cannabis market.
Yeah.
It is. It tastes like you're sucking an orange Tic Tac, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And then Blueberry Clementine is, I mean, just, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Strawberry Bubbles Live Resin Cart by Superflux. Fresh Powder Live Resin Cart by On the Rocks. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Non-infused pre-rolls, Blueberry Clementine pre-roll by Rev.
Duh.
Mac and Nana pre-roll by Paul Bunyan, whoever that is. Animal Face pre-roll mini pack by Dog Walkers.
Yeah, it's a rhythm product.
Yeah. Infused pre-rolls, coffee creamer solventless live rosin by Moonwalkers, Nature's Grace and Wellness.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah. How about that?
Oh my god.
I like it.
How in the hell? But this is weird. Okay. I'm not trying to bash. Nature's Grace definitely in the past has been some very mids,
Yeah.
very hay. All right. I'm all right. I'm not super mad about it. They can win. They can win one time. They did have one product that was good back in the day. I can't tell you what it was. Flower-wise.
We used to get some Nature's Grace and Wellness occasionally. They were the one with the dove on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They got great edibles.
Yeah, we used
Great
to get some of their flour like in the early days. It was decent for what it was and what the market was at the time.
Yeah, they were cheap.
Yeah,
They were cheaper.
they were cheaper too. You could get like $40 eights.
Well, and that was the thing though, is they had very high THC content.
Yeah.
For the low price point.
Yeah.
And
they had some decent strains too.
They did well in the sale game. They really, oh my god, they killed it. And like they
had the easy to open thing. Remember when they were making it prohibitively hard to open certain jars back in the day?
Oh,
they had the easy one where it was just like this, and you pop it and you squeeze it, and it was.
Yeah,
or did they have the square ones too?
No, they were circles.
Okay.
They always have been like some of the better in that regard, but at the beginning of this industry, that shit did suck, really. I had plenty of people that came back into the dispensary and were like, I can't open this because they were disabled, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like, what the fuck? Like this is made to keep Tarzan out of it.
I think they've mostly switched to Mylar now, right?
I think a lot of
most places have switched to Mylar.
It's way cheaper.
Apparently there's like Mylar jars that are going to be the next big thing. I don't know. We'll see. I don't care. Sativa Flower. Jack by Rhythm. Obviously, JH is always going to win.
It's a good sativa strain.
It's a good sativa strain.
If you can find like a
number 4, like an actual number 4.
Yeah, get a little THCV in that fucker. Yeah.
Raspberry Shortcake number 2 by Rev.
Makes sense.
I'd try that. White grapefruit cookies by Seed and Strain.
Fair.
Number 1, indica flower, Cobra Milk by New Era. Every time I've tried that, it has not been great. And all the reviews that I've read from people that I trust have said it's not great. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how. Again, this is People's Choice Awards. There's no like standard to why these things are better than some other things.
Right.
Where back in the day, they literally had like people who consumed cannabis all the time sit inside of a room and talk about different things and they would score things on flavor profile, whatever. I don't know how this got judged. I don't know if people
No, this
sent
is,
back.
I mean, no,
Yeah.
it's literally like you go, you buy the package, right? You get it at the dispensary, and then you vote. So this is the people's choice. This is by vote.
Is it is it
It is
based
purely
off of
by vote.
anything? That's it. So they're just what's your
What
favorite?
you can go ask everybody that if you want to know the answer to that, you would have to ask everybody that voted what they judged it.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, we
You know
gotta
what I'm
find
saying?
somebody. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Hybrid Flower, Slaps by Rhythm, Crockett's Dog by Revolution. Let's go.
Revolution is in every. It's crazy. They win everything all the time. The moral of this whole entire article is that if you want to go to a dispensary and not get duped, there's a better chance you should check out Revolution.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny to me? Actually, not one fucking Verilife product on there.
Nope. Is Verilife even making products anymore?
I don't even know, man.
They may or may not.
Probably. Maybe they sold it to one of these other names, or maybe they changed up their names. I guess I could ask some friends. I don't know.
Who knows? That's crazy. I have heard. This is another one I'm going to try. Speaking of, is the Icy Collective is something new that's out, and seems like it's pretty good. A lot of people are talking nicely about it. So
Yeah.
this is that's a new one I'm going to try.
Okay.
So get Revolution is what he's saying. If you're going to be in a dispensary,
I've always had
Try-
good success
had-
with their products, and if you just want decent quality cannabis across the board, right?
Mhm.
I just want to pick up an eighth. I want to do whatever. I can't tell you how many of my friends still try and show me a jar of some shit from the dispensary, and I go, okay, whatever.
That's cute.
Yeah, whatever. That's about what I say. That's cute. And then I'm like, bro, what? Well, it was the cheapest one.
Yeah.
You're still trying to find the cheapest shit that's minimally effective. Just go buy the good shit
Yep.
that is truly effective, and then don't have to smoke 4 times in a
Well-
row. Smoke once, and you'll feel the same thing as all the 4 times that you smoked before.
Effective dosing.
Effective dosing.
That's something we're gonna have to specialize, or we're gonna have to do like something special on that here real soon, like effective dosing and methods of consumption, and like we'll just sit down and talk it all
You sound
out.
like a sex talker in this thing. Right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you sound like
Everybody says that I have like a
Hey
sultry
now,
voice,
hey
and I'm
now.
like, whoa, that's
What
crazy.
we gonna have to do?
Well, that sounded kind of.
I mean, my voice sounds weird to me. So like when people are like, "Hey, you have a really nice voice," I'm like, "Oh, really? That's weird."
Yeah, I'm into it. Let's get down with the get down.
Yeah. So that was the 2023
People's
Choice High
People's
Times
Cannabis
magazine, owned
Choice
by that
Club
Canadian company now.
High Times
Yeah.
Cup.
Marketing, whatever. But
I
hey,
do hope you got some good products in your package.
No, yeah, for sure. I didn't participate. I don't know if they got their backpacks yet. Actually, that's what we need to do. I need to know. Okay, so if you're listening and you participated in the Illinois High Times Cup, did you get a backpack this year? Tell me. Please let us know. Send us pictures of the backpack. Let us know when you get your backpack. Is it going to be late like last year? That's what I want to know. 100%.
Yeah,
Also, how much did you pay?
that's probably yeah.
How do Illinois and Ohio cannabis industries compare? This is our next one. Again, this is from Michael Lastly of Illinois News Joint. Good dude, doing good stuff. He just took all that. We were talking earlier about the brands and changing, and he just did like a infographic not long ago. Instead of it being in the sheets format, he like actually like put out some info. So like, good for him. He's doing
Dope.
great work.
Let's go.
We appreciate that, dude. I don't know why I'm still high and rambling about it.
No, it's people in the industry that are doing the right thing.
Yeah,
so I'm
for
super
sure.
into it.
So this reads as after comparing Illinois legal cannabis markets to a few other Midwest states, we now add the latest state to legalize and regulate recreational cannabis, Ohio.
Hey,
Congrats, Ohio.
Congrats, Ohio.
Below are the statistics for several categories that directly compare the cannabis industries in Illinois and Ohio. This is just like, we're about similar sizes.
Yeah.
So this is how they operate, how we could operate, things that could be better for us. So they have 11.8 million people, and we have 12.67 million, which I believe is down if you listen to the news.
It's about 870,000 people for
number of medical patients, cannabis medical patients. They have 398,057. So almost 400,000, almost 500,000. We reported on the last episode that we have 137, 138. I think active patients. I think it was closer to 138, right?
Yeah, but I think
it was
they
like
only
over
said
38.
like 64,000 people purchased cannabis last month. 64,000
Yeah.
medical patients
Yeah.
reported.
Number of approved medical cannabis cultivation licenses. Ohio already has more than us. They have 34, we have 21, and there is absolutely no plans to add more.
Yeah, well, they've got them few craft licenses, but nobody's online. They're still waiting.
Our market is so stagnant right now. Number of dispensaries, they have 130, and we have 113.
Yep.
Home grow. All adults 21 or over, 6 per person, 12 household limit. I'm okay with that. I think that is a fair and common sense law.
It's their plants.
They're plants.
And literally, according to the LD50 test, which is a toxicology report that we use to measure toxicity in different chemicals, right? So,
lethal dose 50.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Lethal dose 50. So at 50%, you toxically shock your system. 100%, you toxically shock your system with the potential of death, right? That's what this is on. Aspirin on this scale is like 1 to 20 or something like that, which means you'd have to take 20 doses of aspirin to toxically shock your system, or 40 doses of aspirin to toxically shock your system with the potential of death, which means we sell 5x death in a single bottle at Walgreens, and you could buy it at any point, right?
Yep.
Cannabis, I think, is like 1 to 20,000 or 1 to 40,000,
Right.
according to one of the fucking things. So you'd have to take 20,000 doses of cannabis, which ends up being something like 750 pounds of cannabis, or if inhaled, or 1,500 pounds of cannabis. And this has to be consumed within 15 minutes. Just the numbers are staggering against what cannabis is capable of doing to hurt you comparatively to things that we sell at Walgreens. And yet we have such strict laws, and it just doesn't even
So there's no room for innovation. There's no room for spontaneity. There's no room for creativity when you have such restrictive and regulation, such restrictive laws and regulation. That's what ends up happening. See, what'll happen in Ohio is that people will start growing, and sure, you're probably going to have people selling weed. It happens. But you're also going to have people who really get into the growing side, and then they'll really get into like making extracts and they'll, you know, find a spot in the market for themselves
But if
and actually create money in taxes by creating businesses and trade, and they'll have farmers markets, and they'll have all this room to be able to do all this cool stuff. But here,
people tell me that it's like super hard to, and I'm sure not super hard in the fact that somebody out there might be listening and goes, you don't know. Michigan has such cheap cannabis. Oregon has such
oh
cheap
yeah,
fucking cannabis that they can't, like, home growing isn't lucrative enough
correct,
to fucking make them any fucking money.
right,
Having 12 plants in your house, at whatever they're selling cannabis at, there's $100 an ounce, right?
yeah,
One of your plants produces a pound, you get 12 pounds. You know, at the end of the day, even if you were capable of pulling the
I mean,
$100 an
you
ounce the dispensary is pulling, because that's your friends can literally go all around the place and fucking buy the shit. If you can even pull the $100 an ounce, you're talking about $1,600 a pound times 12 fucking pounds. You're looking at what, $20,000 or something like that. It's just it's not a ton of money, and
no,
people shouldn't be like, what are you going to make from this thing? Even if you become the local guy who does it
yeah,
really well, to grow 12 plants, to have the lighting go to it, to have the nutrients that go to
that's
it,
a
to do all that,
lot
it's
of
just a
work.
lot of and it's a lot of work. And if that's what you choose to do with your time and you can support that much of a market, then these states should be smart enough to give people peddlers
Yep,
licenses and let them grow enough to build a little market for
yeah,
themselves and still fucking tax people.
yeah.
You'd still make money from it.
Well, it's because Illinois is such in such a bad state, you know, that they see this strict regulation of the cannabis market as their way out, and rightfully so. To some point, I guess. Like there is a point where we got to get out of it. Like you know, it was starting to get bad here. Like it was. I mean, it's bad now, but like it was starting to get. You know, some shit was looming. Illinois was their credit rating was going down. We weren't being able to pay our bills, and cannabis was the way out of it. But there's got to be
It
some easing.
it was
It's
for
kind of
about
ridiculous.
a few hundred people, perhaps the few hundred initial owners of some of these
Yeah,
places,
no,
especially
I mean
dispensary
for the
licenses and
government
shit. They
though,
made some.
for taxes, for the tax revenue that they were getting, we were able to start paying our bills and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
like,
they're
understandably is what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
we needed that, but like there needs to be some
They made
easing.
$300 million off of the fucking cannabis
Yeah,
industry last year. It's they're doing well. I I don't know. I'm
they've got to find something else, man.
it's sounding like Ohio's figured some shit out though,
Yeah, they sure
mostly.
have.
And this next part about the taxes,
Yeah,
it's
here we go. So Illinois medical patients only 5 plant limit. You know,
we
uh,
know that.
yeah, cannabis tax. Ohio, 10% state cannabis tax plus 5.7% state sales tax.
That's 15.75.
Okay, I don't know if it's I don't like tax, but you know who really does, and so
That is
I guess
in the
that's
cannabis
it's
world. That is
okay.
cheap as
Okay,
fuck. Like even Colorado and Cali and shit. They like Cali does. Um, Colorado might be speaking too much. I don't know
yeah.
necessarily the tax rate, but I know Cali's tax rate is fucking ridiculous. Nevada might even be worse than we are. I think they get up into the 40+% thing because their municipalities can take like an extra 5 or 10. It's something fucking wild.
So in Illinois, it is 10% tax on cannabis flower or products with less than 35% THC, 20% tax on products infused with cannabis, such as edibles, 25% tax on any product with a THC concentration higher than,
Yeah.
all in addition to a 6.25% state sales tax. Counties and municipalities can add up to 3.5% in additional
Here, I'll do
tax.
math for you. That's 975.
Yep.
That's 34.
Yep.
That's 34 fucking percent.
Yep.
34.75% on your cannabis.
On your flower cannabis?
If it's over 35%, which,
So that goes back to a couple episodes
or
ago
any infused products.
where we talked about how they're raising the tax again and why the numbers are inflated and reasons that it could be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
that's
Like that's why they have, you know,
that's why they have a black market issue, an illegal market issue, and it's not even an issue, to be
It's
quite
not.
honest with you. It's
hard. I
a
hear it's hard
supplement
out
to the-
there.
Well, honestly, there's I know some people that I promise you, things are weird now, just all around. Michigan is close enough
Yep.
to Illinois from where we're at that
One of my best friends
my
went
friends
up
are
to
just
Michigan.
like, fuck it, I'm going to Michigan.
Yeah.
And we make a trip. They make a trip out of it.
Yeah.
They go and have, a
day.
weekend out, or, they'll
Yeah.
go play some disc golf, or they'll go explore the local town or whatever it is. And then they come back and none the wiser.
I
Just
heard-
be careful I'm not promoting it at all. Just be super careful through Indiana, because they are still archaic about things. But also, too, some of the things I hear about people making it worth it to go to Michigan and then come back. And then I'm like, well, that would be bad in any state, actually. It'd be bad if you got hit with that in Michigan. It'd be bad if you got hit with that in Indiana. It'd be bad if you got hit with that in Illinois. So it's like, we are all still playing this weird ass game because they're regulating a plant that, again, it's just not necessarily going to hurt you as bad. And there are people, and I'm not saying that because I know somebody I know two people directly that have dealt with cannabis hyperemesis, and it's weird. I also know people with schizophrenia that use cannabis and they get another personality, and I think it's not, So there's some instances where it probably doesn't do the best things, but outside of, there's always instances. This thing is relatively safe and not very harmful, and again, for us not to be able to possess it or grow it or consume it
it's ridiculous.
it's very restrictive, and it's not nice.
It's not very nice. They're not being very chill, man.
Yeah,
Illinois, can you just be more chill?
yeah. Go to your local dispensary and
Yeah.
get you one of them High Times Cannabis Cup
Be-
People's Choice Award.
Give
Hey,
you a whole backpack full of them.
next year, let's make it the Government Choice Awards. The government is the only ones who can vote on the Cannabis High Times. I recommend somebody at High Times trying to figure this out.
Oh, I'm a firm believer that everybody in the government should be required to do mushrooms.
Yeah, probably more than that even.
Well, I mean, not everybody. Like ayahuasca's not for everybody.
We could figure out the ones that it is good
That's
for.
true.
Yeah.
Possession limits. So in Ohio, you get 2.5 ounces of cannabis, and no more than 15 grams may be cannabis concentrates. Okay, so you can still have possession limits. You know what I mean? If that's how you want to regulate your, you're not supposed to do that. You let people grow 12 plants, but say, don't be out of the house with it, I guess. You know what I mean?
This is so that's like just super straightforward too.
Yeah.
2.5 ounces of cannabis and no more than 15 grams may be cannabis concentrate. I respect it. It gives you guidelines. I don't know that
2.5 is a little low,
it's a
but
little-
I also understand 2.5 is
But that
where
is-
2.5 is okay as well.
That
Does that
is
make sense?
that is for an Ohio resident.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have an Ohio license means that you have that kind of possession limit. In Illinois, if you have an Illinois resident card,
Uh-huh.
you're only allowed to possess 30 grams of cannabis flower,
Right.
5 grams of concentrate,
Right.
or 500 milligrams of THC or infused products.
How would they know?
Non-residents can purchase half of that, 15 grams of flour, 5 grams of concentrate, or 250. Whoa, they can still get the same 5 grams of concentrate?
Yep.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Good for you. But that's like one or the other, right? Or is it
Yeah.
all of them? I think
Uh,
it's all of them now, actually.
Maybe.
I think it is.
It's crazy
I think
that
you can,
they.
but um, the wild part to me is like I don't know. I know people in Illinois with medical licenses that have 1 pound every 2 week limit, so they can buy 2 pounds of cannabis per week,
That's expensive.
or it's biweekly, so they can buy 2 pounds of cannabis a month is what I meant to say, um, and then concentrate, like this just says 15 grams of concentrate for Ohio. Concentrate in Illinois off of a medical patient's
Mhm.
limit comes up as this weird math rule that they made at 10 to 1
Didn't they change it?
per the THC. Did they?
I'm pretty sure they changed it.
Oh,
I'm
that
pretty
was the
sure
worst thing in the whole
I'm
world.
pretty sure that because before it was like they would, if you were to buy like a vape cart, they were going by the pre-weight of what it weighed.
And then multiplying it by 10.
Right.
Correct.
And so people in the beginning were starting to run out of their allotment very quickly
Correct.
because of
And that was
high
why.
THC vape carts.
Yep, that was why.
I believe I'm 99% sure they changed that.
Oh, that's so good. But yeah, I remember at the beginning of Illinois' market where people would only come in and buy concentrates
Yep.
because concentrates would take off like 0.7 of a gram or
Right.
something because it was only measuring against THC, activated THC, not THCA,
Right.
not CBD, not THCV, no, THC activated. So anyway, yeah, it's good. That's better. Thanks for telling me that. I'm
Yeah.
so far out of the industry in
Yeah,
that
it's been
capacity.
a while, right?
2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Price of cheapest, most expensive, closest eighth of flower. I don't know that this is right. I've heard differently, but this is what was reported. Choosing the closest Illinois and Ohio dispensaries to Michael. I believe he lives in southern Illinois, if I remember correctly. So it could be, you know,
It's pretty relative.
40 to 50 bucks for an eighth and 50 to 65 bucks for an eighth. In Illinois, that's about right.
Yep.
Cheapest, most expensive concentrate, 50 bucks and 90 bucks, 50 bucks and 90 bucks. No delivery for either of us. No
Medical reciprocity.
reciprocity. Yeah.
That means where I can use
Yeah.
my card in your state and you can use
Yeah.
your card in mine.
Just get a Utah or Florida.
Ah,
That's what I did.
yeehaw!
Yeehaw. So yeah, there is that. Sweet. Let's see. SB 1559 passes Illinois House and State. This is the Access to Affordable Insulin Act, and you'll go, but two dope dudes. Why are you talking about the Insulin Act? Because that's how they got the transporters regulation license stuff passed. They had to kick it over to a different bill so they could get certain things in. So let's see here.
3 big amendments.
Yeah, 3 big amendments. Let me see. There might be a better, because I saw. Yeah, here we go. All right. So full language, I guess the same one. Entities awarded a license under this article shall not be required to pay any fee. So they put a hold on fees. They also put a hold on new licenses for new transportation licenses, because there's like 80 or 100 or whatever that are just waiting around.
But I think, didn't they say there could be an unlimited number of transport licenses, but everything else has a limit to it? I'm almost 100% sure that there is no cap in how many transport licenses would be given out.
I think there was a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So basically, 3 major changes. Senate bill. Why did I thought I linked something better that broke it down better, but this is fine. And then the other one was upon completion of the disparity and availability study published by the Illinois Cannabis Regulation Oversight Officer under subsection E of section 5-45, the department may modify or change the licensing application process to reduce or eliminate barriers and remedy discrimination identified in the study. Beginning January 1st, 2027, Department of Agriculture shall make the applications available on every January 7th thereafter, or if that date falls on a weekend or holiday, the business day immediately succeeding the weekend or holiday shall review the applications no later than March 15th. The passage of, so it sounds like they're not going to open any new licenses till 2027, is what that sounds like to me,
That's
right?
fine. There's no.
Yeah.
I mean, I sure as shit was.
Yeah, so it's a
what you lost
two-year-
me in the legal jargon.
2-year
Stop.
moratorium on new transporter licenses will allow the current smaller independent transporters to secure contracts and grow their business. License holders will also have a 2-year holiday from paying annual fees to further aid these small businesses as the industry develops. So that's exactly what
That's cool.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's cool.
I mean,
It is.
for them.
Well,
but
it's cool for them because they were awarded all these licenses thinking that they were going to be able to get into the market. And because Illinois had to make it, weird or whatever, like has to like make up all these things instead of just letting things happen, like letting the market actually, decide what it needs and stuff like that. They have to give out these licenses and then they're like, well, because we've reported on it. They're doing nothing. They're
Yeah.
going out of business. They've done all these things
Thieves and
and people are like, well, we don't need you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They can't get any contracts. So now they're basically mandating that dispensaries use contracts or these transporters.
I'm into it. I think they ought to let all these people be delivery companies.
Well, yeah, we talked about, that's what you were saying last time. It should be
That's what
delivery companies.
That's what they should have been from the beginning.
Yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, so that's the part that got passed in the veto session. We'll see what next year. I'm sure there's going to be nothing else passed this year, obviously. So we'll see what the cannabis market has for us next year, because now it's just nothing till the end of the year, right? Ain't no more sessions. Here's our last one.
This was
So this is the Cole memo, which is he does the Chillinois podcast, which is another cannabis podcast, and now he's doing the Cole memo, which is focusing on like the law kind of stuff. I urge you guys to check him out if you would like, although most of the stuff is behind a paywall. So he did some FOIA requests with the government, and so here's what it reads. On July 22nd, 2020, an article published on Grown In reported that the state of Illinois had issued fines to cultivators in the years 2019 and 2020. Unfortunately, the original article from Grown In seems to be removed from their website. You can actually put it in the Wayback Machine and see it. But they went and did the results. They did a FOIA request, and here is what we have. Revolution, $1,000, failure of offsite video storage.
yeah.
That was Ataraxia and Albion, $5,000, unsecured exterior door. GTI, $10,000, transportation team left vehicle and cannabis unsecured during delivery.
Yeah, that was a big thing. I remember this. I remember all of this stuff actually.
Revolution, failure to register cannabis product. What was that?
I couldn't tell you that. That's super small. That probably
They just didn't get paperwork in on time or
I'd
something.
imagine so.
PTS, transportation of product without manifesting, so they were probably
You gotta send the shit to the
yeah.
state and let them know. Yeah, a lot of this stuff was like, and that's the funny shit, because that's all the state does, right?
right.
These are what the fuck they're fining people for.
Yeah.
they never knew what the fuck the product was or what, like, so it doesn't, like, it's not regulating the product, it's regulating the regulations. Make
Yeah.
sure that these people are staying within the, did they send their paperwork in on time? Did they lock the door the right way? It's like, dude, if I didn't lock my fucking door, then my shit gets stolen. Why are you fining me for not locking my doors? That's the weirdest shit. It's like seatbelt laws, man. I
Yeah.
talk about them all the time, but it just weirds me out that you're like, you think you're smarter than I am or something of that nature. And now you get to fine me. I know the ramifications for wearing this and not wearing this. Get out of my
So,
pocketbook.
here's the cliff notes of what happened. Because they've been talking about this on Instagram a couple months now. So they sent in a FOIA request to the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, who we don't ever talk bad about because, they might regulate us someday. And it was denied. And so what happened is that they ended up talking to the Illinois Attorney General, and Illinois Attorney General said, "Nah, you got to give them the information." And so they got the information. So they asked for a list of details of all fines levied against cannabis cultivators by the Illinois Department of Agriculture from January 1st, 2020 through August 15th, 2023. Any correspondence, notices, fines, they went through and they were like, nah. And then they were like, no, you gots to. And so they ended up getting this information. And this is the fine log. And that's what I wanted to show you because I think this is really interesting. So there was one for ataraxia for $65,000. Ataraxia being Verano. Now, the fine was, or the reason was, application of pesticides after the vegetative state of growth, failure to update and maintain pesticide logs, failure to comply with the Illinois Pesticide Control Act, and failure to ensure proper licensing for individuals responsible for applying pesticides. So when we talk about your extracts and your terp carts from the Illinois market, and we've talked about bugs and other things, that's the kind of things that cultivators are doing, and they were fined $65,000 for that, and that was 8/24/22. So last year. Isn't that crazy?
It doesn't surprise me one bit. It does, but I know the lengths that these people are willing to go to try to hide something in the same way that, I mean, if you come from a cannabis background, then you've been trying to fight the law the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
The law is regulating you against doing things. Now, the pesticide after the vegetative state is pretty gross because they intend on selling that
Yep.
shit to you. If they planned on washing it, we don't know. Whatever. Any hoot. That sucks. But also, the state doesn't know why they're regulating them pesticides to
Right.
begin with, outside of some.
Well, the state as an entity doesn't. Somebody in the field might understand it.
Well,
That's not to
so
say that there's not people that don't understand.
So it makes perfect sense, and there are some times I do believe that using pesticides after the vegetative state, especially depending on what kind of pesticides we're using and stuff, I think it's okay, right? Because aphids and fucking
Yeah, you don't
mites
want
and shit
that.
destroy the shit out of your, and it does it during veg. So it's not like,
Well, if I can't imagine that if you have them in flower, you didn't have them in veg. You
yeah,
should be taking care of that stuff in veg.
and then
And there's stuff that's you can give to the plant that affects the whole. I think it's systemic, and then it gets out of its system before you flip the flower, but it prevents the issues from happening.
that's the
You just
whole
have
thing.
to apply it correctly and understand what you're doing. Or you can use, like, I use neem oil, and I use Dr. Zymes, and I use EM5, which is Essential Microbes 5, which is an all natural. It's like vinegar and
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff you can do. You just gotta care about the plant.
I just would imagine that if we know what is good and bad, that this cultivation center probably knows what's good and bad too. And I don't know that they would do it maliciously to whatever, but also, when you're in a 10,000 square foot grow room and
Yeah.
you've got that many plants going
it's a
and
lot going
something
on.
happens during flower, like what the fuck are you going to do? Are
Well,
you
they
just
had
gonna
to destroy that crop, so that's probably
might
$1 million+ that they lost.
or just fucking contain the issue there
Yeah,
and then, use the recycling system that is carts and concentrates and edibles and whatever and
Yeah.
just put it all into the recycler and call it a day.
Yep.
What?
Well, I mean, it's almost impossible for any cultivator to get crops to market without over drying or remediation at this point.
Yeah.
I've been told that by people who are in the industry, like actually in the
Legal side.
I wouldn't say senior leadership, but people who are involved not just in cultivation, but they know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Another one was Ascend got 50 grand for construction without approved modification application permit. Naughty, naughty.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of, yeah. Don't do that.
Illinois Grown Medicine got a whole bunch. Failure to properly maintain records, monitor visitors, maintain video recording beyond 90 days, maintain records, provide notification, or seek prior approval for visitors. She.
Damn.
Yeah, they got screwed. But yeah, so they eventually got the information, and good for them. I encourage you to, go read the whole article on thecolememo.com.
I wanna see the shit against dispensaries.
I mean, we could submit a Freedom of Information Act
Find out
request.
the fines.
We literally could.
I mean,
Yeah.
run that up.
Yeah.
Make that happen. I want to know what happened in the dispensaries.
Wow.
Because there we're gonna find some fines, man. Everybody was fined at the beginning.
And then here's the 2 cultivation centers that they would not release the information or what the violation description was. But there was one outdoor 15 grand and one of 10 grand, but they paid 8.
Yep. Wild.
Just something to, I mean, yeah, maybe we'll do a Freedom of Information Act.
That'd be cool.
That's a
I'd
lot
like
of
it,
work, though, and I would have to write, and
yeah,
it sounds like work. I'm not in the, I do this podcast so I don't have to work. Not that we're making money, but I do this so I don't have to do other stuff. So anyway, whatever. Anything else? How you feeling? This is been smoking again.
Dude, you know what I've been thinking about. I'm gonna see how I've been packing on the pounds, bro.
Yeah.
I've been not really hard, but yeah, I've been just. I don't know if it's because I don't know, man. I might slow it down again, even, and see if it drops the weight again. Cause I was dropping weight like a madman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and don't get me wrong. We start to put on that winter weight a little bit.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
it ain't even a fucking winter yet, man. It's 60
Oh, it's
degrees.
getting there.
I'm still wearing flip flops. I should not be putting on weight. But anyway, yeah, it might be something I consider stopping again and just seeing if that has a direct effect on the weight gain or weight loss thing. And it's like I used to tell people all the time, there's a point in this where I have to tell you to just put the fucking fork down, right?
Right.
Just tie up the refrigerator and the cabinet doors because you're getting too savage about it, right? But I don't think I've been too crazy about anything. I do. You know what it probably is? Ice cream, man. I got right back into ice cream like it was.
I can't
I
even
don't know.
mess with it. Can't even mess with it.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I used to love me some ice cream.
I-
I used to sit, man, back in the day, I sit down and eat a whole pint of Cherry Garcia,
Ben and Jerry's. Yeah, that's 1,500 calories at the end of the night,
Yeah.
bro.
Now I'm like, oh, let me just get like a
Yeah, it's
little
not
half a
good.
spoonful.
Yeah, well, and I've been trying to do that better. Been trying to slow it down.
Just gotta get a little taste. Sometimes you just need a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes I like smashing that damn pint though, and I think it's when I get a little bit more cannabis in my system, I'm like more ready to smash a pint than I am,
Maybe
just
you
get a
should,
little
like,
taste.
Why don't you like just get a bag of nuts? Have some stuff like that around to snack on. Something good for you.
I mean, nuts can be bad too. They got a lot of salt on 'em.
You can get some walnuts. Anything that looks like a brain is good for your brain.
Get some of these nuts.
Oh, sheesh.
She.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's this week's show. I don't got anything else. These nuts.
I guess that's it, right?
Yeah. I don't
Hey.
know. Maybe have some self-control. No, I'm just
I
playing.
don't have that.
I know.
I'm out of control. The
You need a good stomach.
I'm
you
just
need-
getting too whacked, man. I'm smoking the smallest
like,
amounts of things. I'm getting cooked.
You won't. Are you smoking as much as you used to, or are you?
Hell no. If I'm smoking maybe once a day now, if that, there's days where I've literally gone since I started smoking again, full days without smoking because I just didn't need to.
Right.
I'm smoking a little bit before bed to try and slow the dream
Yeah.
and shit down.
How's that working?
Nah.
No.
I mean, a little bit. It's getting better. I'm waking up in the morning and not remembering shit, which
Oh,
is
that's
good.
cool.
But in the night, I know that my shit's more active, I'm going to slow it down still with a little bit of the choochie magoos.
Maybe you should just take a CBD edible, or maybe you should just no, because I know what you're gonna say. You're like, no, I like the THC. I like to fuck it all. I know
But
you.
I mean, I'm not against no CBD. Maybe I should put a little bit of that in my system. Try it out.
I mean, there's some good stuff out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, check it out. CBE, baby. All
Mr.
right.
CBD Chicago.
Cool. See you next week, brother. Love you
All right.
guys. Smoke
y'all.
weed every day.
Thanks, Charlie and Rochelle.
Yeah, always at the Lovian Studios. Thanks, Charlie and Rochelle. Love you guys. And, Bob and Serena and everybody else.
all them friends from Tuesday.
Yeah, all
There's
of our
some
friends.
cool people.
Yeah,
All right, man.
secrets.
Talk to y'all soon.
Love you. Peace.
Later. Love y'all.
Yo, ding dong, we're done here. Time to go.